Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. This is the 14 First Alert Weather Show at 9 here on Monday, March the 9th. I'm glad you're here. We have some severe weather possible this week, alert days and the like, so we're going to talk about that. I also am watching your comments here on the 14 News Facebook page, so you can chime in as you want. And it's Monday night. We will have a special out and about trip here a little later on. Out there now we have cloudy skies overhead. It's pretty humid. And because of that and a few other things, we're at risk for some severe storms beginning late tomorrow night and continuing through Wednesday, perhaps in a couple or even 3 rounds. Hail, wind, tornadoes, and flooding, all possible with these storms. The risk for the tri-state for tomorrow night, and I want to emphasize here, we're looking at tomorrow night. The day's going to be fine. It'll be toward 9 o'clock and after, about this time, that we may have a few storms firing over southern or central Illinois and drifting into the tri-state overnight. We have a level 1 on a scale of 5 risk for severe weather. The main concerns are actually well to our north, up over northern and central Illinois. In that spot, we have the risk of very large hail. We also have a damaging wind risk area-wide there, which does include our extreme northern counties. And the tornado risk is most pronounced there to the north, most likely to the north. The rest of the tri-state at a 2% risk, which is kind of boilerplate for the level 1 or marginal risk. On Wednesday, it's a different story. As that cold front moves in, storms will fire across western Kentucky in the morning and then rekindle in the afternoon. Those will capitalize on that warm, humid air out there, and that could set us up then for some storms with hail, wind, and even tornadoes. It's pretty broad risk, extending from Lake Erie up there around Erie, Pennsylvania, all the way down almost to New Orleans. So a very broad cold front coming in. Here's how tomorrow should shape out. I'm expecting some breaks in the clouds, sunshine, and temperatures in the upper 70s during the afternoon. Clouds will thicken up by 11 o'clock, and then overnight, a few showers and storms get going, some moving across western Kentucky there during the morning commute. So that time when you're waiting for the bus to go to school, driving to work, and so on, could be a little fraught there with some storms in the area from Tell City down to about Central City and Greenville. After a relative lull during the morning, the afternoon holds the most promise for some storms moving in, this time from the northwest and overspreading the region, perhaps merging into a line of severe storms by the afternoon and evening. That would foretell or portend, either one, a damaging wind risk and maybe some embedded tornadoes in there and heavy rain with the stronger storms. We then clear out on Thursday and things quiet down then as we head into the weekend. The rain amounts, and of course we're going on top of a very wet previous week here, so it won't take a lot of rain perhaps to generate some flooding out there. All locations showing around 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rainfall possible with those rounds of storms on Wednesday. After that, we cool down in a big way, only up to 52 on Thursday. By Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we return to the mid-60s and get back into the normal range for lows, more thunderstorms, and then another shot of cold air from Sunday into Monday. So a very dynamic pattern here, active pattern setting up across the tri-state as we get into the middle of the week. Right now we're showing 67 degrees around the area. Most spots have upper 60s. It won't cool too much overnight. We should drop back to about 60 or so. Today, the third warmest day of the month at 72. Notice all of a sudden we've started to get rain again, which is a wonderful development here. That has put our month here at 2.84 inches ahead of normal, nearly double the rainfall, in other words. A typical March will generate around 4.5 inches of rain. So we picked up nearly a month's worth of rain in the last week, and that puts our annual rainfall deficit down to just 1/3 of an inch, and we should knock that out soon. Notice too, the average temperature 15 degrees warmer than normal. Those 80-degree days will do that. And suddenly we're back in the green here on our tracking of wet or dry months. So that's, again, a welcome change for us. Now, we're currently at a surplus of almost 3 inches, and we will hang on to that for a period of time, but then each day that goes by without rain, that'll whittle away at that surplus number a bit. Across the nation tonight, all the active weather centered here in the south, around Atlanta. I'll try to get that over there. You know, this happened the other night where I got on the mouse and there we go. And we have a squall line now moving into Atlanta there around the airport. A few severe thunderstorms out there. This is actually a tornado warning for Atlanta with a tornado possible tag on that warning. For here in the tri-state, a warm front will lift through overnight. That's why our temperatures aren't going to drop very much. And then with that warm, moist air in place and a cold front approaching, we have the classic setup for some thunderstorms, especially on Wednesday morning and then again Wednesday afternoon as the cold front itself starts to move in here and kick up some storms. High pressure will return. That will scrub out the clouds and the moisture and bring cooler temps down then for Thursday and Friday. Through the weekend, our next chance of rain arrives on Sunday. Could be a wintry situation in Chicago, maybe even St. Louis. We're not really showing a snow potential until maybe late. It could mix over or change to snow briefly as that colder air flushes in. You'll see, though, that our high temperatures into next week are still well above freezing, so we're not expecting any trouble there. We can certainly get snow in March, but we'll have to see how that one plays out. Still many days away. The total rainfall on the GFS and on the European at about 1 inch or so. That's a little low based on what I was showing you there just for the short term. The European is advertising some rain late Sunday and then also a changeover perhaps to snow briefly on Monday before we dry out and cool down Tuesday. Total rainfall amounts from the European also suspiciously low there. I guess those are a little bit better, around 1.5 inches or so. 61 tonight. With this warm, humid air in place, we could see some patchy fog. Up to 78 tomorrow. That's well above normal, about 22 degrees warmer than the typical. And our first alert weather days are for the storms that I mentioned already. Down the line then, we are quiet until Sunday when we have another shot at some thunderstorms out there and unsettled weather. Longer range, up through the 23rd of the month, we return to near normal temperatures, which would be around 55 to 60 for the high, and drier than normal too for the back half of the month. This is Fred checking out some snow. That's an older picture there that I found over on 14news.com. So thanks to Julie Alexander for that pic. All right, let's get a look at your questions here. See if we can calm any nerves or clarify anything that I've talked about. And we have a pretty good sized crowd in here tonight. Okay, Robin Crone, what is the tornado percentage? Well, the risk for tomorrow night is at 2%. On Wednesday, we don't have that number yet. We don't get the percentage risk until it's in the first 2 day parts, right? So today and tomorrow. For Wednesday, I would assume it will be a little bit higher given what we know and what we're looking at, but I don't have a number for you right now. Angie Wampler, Tuesday during the day, the best day of the week. Yeah, it'll be pretty nice out there. It'll certainly be warm, a little windy at times. Let's see. James Garrison, show a play-by-play of the storms on the map starting Tuesday. Yeah, we can go back to that here in a second. Let's see. Checking in from Tampa, Deborah Teeters. Well, you're probably a little bit warmer down there, but yeah, we're pretty close behind up here in the 60s right now. William Raleigh, when we're talking about total rainfall and average rainfall through the month, why do we always go off of the total month instead of the average to date for the month? Because it's too much calculation. It's easier, and I think it gives a better idea kind of where we stand. But that's a valid point. It's like where the trend, right? Are we above or below the trend? But the database I have access to is just monthly numbers or averages, and so we break it out that way. Plus, you're going to get a real scattershot data display there. Like on the day you had 2.77, that was a record. So, it'll be up and down and all around. It's wetter than normal is probably the easiest. Remember, I have to simplify everything. Do I think tornado watch on Wednesday? Drew Rapp. Well, it's not out of the question. Let's see here. Will I be showing the Cape and Shear and supercell stuff for the storms? Yeah, we'll look at those tomorrow. I'd like to kind of get a little closer so we have a little higher resolution data on that. But I mean, if you really want, I can show it to you right now. Most of the area here, let's see. I got to go back. Actually, I might have it loaded in. The question mark will be if it's going to allow me to make the change since I've already launched this show. I know it's complicated, isn't it? Okay, well, I have it there. So we'll try it. Yeah, and it's going to lock me out. So you're going to see the screen do some funny things here, and then we will hopefully get it back on there for you. You really want the hardcore weather stuff, right? All right. And as this reloads, we'll get that on there for you. Then we'll do the replay too. Haven't forgotten you there. All right. I should have had those loaded in. I was more concentrated on just the regular stuff. Okay, so there's Cape Shear. And can do winds aloft. And okay, so you ask about Cape and Shear. So we'll start on Cape and go from there. Okay, so for Toradon Talbert here, hopefully that'll come up. It'll take it a second here. The data has to digest and go into the computer brain. All right, come on. You're making me tap dance here, computer. There it is. All right, so we'll have to pull this handle back. I don't have these all cleaned up for everybody. Okay, so here's Wednesday, and when looking at the Cape, it's in that low range, so that would be under 500 joules per kilogram if you're really into the number part of it. And unfortunately, this model is a lower resolution, so you only have a 3-hour block of data, right? By tomorrow, the graph will be able to show us hourly, which is a little more helpful. But we probably knew that already, that we were going to have, some Cape out there. Certainly with the temperature in the 70s and those dew points where they are, Cape is not going to be the issue. Instability is not the issue either. What will likely be the issue will be a cap. If we get warmer air over the air at the surface, that could inhibit the initial development of these storms. Okay, then you ask about shear, so we'll go back again here. This is Wednesday afternoon, and the shear there through 7 o'clock, again showing in the higher range, as you would expect with a cold front coming in. So, again, that would be kind of what you would expect to see. Low-level jet, which is oftentimes the thing that really kicks those thunderstorms into high gear. And again, we're going to look back here. Let's see here, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. All right. So you see we have quite a bit of wind aloft here. The low-level jet actually pretty strong, and that's because we have the low-level jet coming around the trough and coming up, and with winds in that range, that would point toward more of a tornado risk. So that's significant there for Wednesday morning, and then as the front kicks through in the afternoon, that low-level jet will go with it. I'm pretty sure the supercell index will also be lit up over the area. So we'll go back and look at that one. And there we are, and it is, again, when you would expect it there, Wednesday morning into the afternoon, some higher bullseyes there over southern Illinois, closer to the cold front during the early afternoon. And significant tornado parameter is the final one we'll look at here. And we will go all the way back, and it's in there too. And of course, we've been talking about tornadoes as a threat for Wednesday, so that kind of confirms what we've already told you. Okay, so those are the kind of the lower resolution indexes, and then somebody had asked to see the play-by-play here again, just hour by hour. So tomorrow, no issues. Let's start with late Tuesday night, going into Wednesday, and you see that first round of showers kind of coming together closer to 7 a.m. That was when we had some going into southern Illinois here over around Mount Vernon, and then storms developing across western Kentucky, 6, 7, 8 a.m. or so, and moving on out. So there's 7 a.m. Wednesday. First round should be to our east, but we have more waiting in the wings up here. And again, this is where a cap could come in and kind of halt the development until later in the afternoon. This is 10:30, and then you see by early afternoon, now you're getting a little more of an organized look to the line, and I will pull it up here a couple more notches, and now you're seeing those lines of storms develop in the afternoon. Okay, and then there's probably the peak part, at least based on today's models, mid-afternoon there, sometime between 2 and about 4. Things move to the east. There will be some stratiform rain behind it, so that just means kind of long-lasting, gentle rainfall behind the system. All right, let me see if that got everybody shaped up here. Do we use a green screen? In this room, no. This is actually a TV set, but out in the studio, we still use the green screen. A little bit easier to see what we're pointing at. James Allen Garrison, do we need to stay up Tuesday night? I don't think so. I think it'll be an early wake-up call, maybe 5 or 5:30 in the morning with some thunderstorms out there. Okay. I think that got everybody else. All right. Monday, as you know, is the day I go out and do out and about stories. So I have one queued up for you here. Take a look. This is a place I went last week or 2 weeks ago, and it's called Hope Gallery here in Evansville. Check it out. I'm Jeff Lyons, out and about today at the Hope Gallery with Sadie Stokes, the manager here. How you doing, Sadie?
I'm great. How are you?
Tell me about Hope Gallery. What goes on here?
Yeah, we are a nonprofit boutique, but our overall mission is serving adults with disabilities. We teach our team members customer service, cashiering. They are responsible for running the storefront.
Thank you. Cash back. One thing I always do is make people welcome to our community. And I like to help people with their stuff, what they do, like making mosaics.
And it's okay if you don't.
Parts.
The best thing that happens at the Hope Gallery is the team members every day have something new to be proud of and show off their strengths a little bit more each day and have a sense of purpose every day.
My favorite thing to do is make hat. You just pull the bottom one up and over the top one, and you do that all the way around.
These are our hand-woven hats. Our team members have learned how to knit hats thanks to a generous volunteer, and they create all different designs and patterns with them, and then they're finished with our signature word, hope.
You usually wind up with a hat, but this one's going to be a scarf.
TESS FULLER. I'm trying to learn something different this year. I'm trying to learn, so I'm going to learn typing.
We have our handmade postcards. Our team members get to use the typewriters, and they stamp each one of them and package them to sell.
I will open the card. It's about his birthday or graduation.
Our team members clock in, they have a time card, then they get to work on a special project of their choosing.
My favorite thing to do is doing mosaics.
People donate these plates and dishes, and then we smash them with a hammer and make our own pieces.
At that point, they choose their form.
It's a strawberry mosaic.
Our team members pick out the pieces. We look to see what colors fit, what sizes fit.
This is a tie nipper, and what it does is it cuts the pieces for you, and it makes the little pieces for you.
This epoxy thing on this tray to make it shine. That flower I worked on, breast cancer ribbon, I worked on this birdhouse.
You think a bird will want to live in there?
Oh yeah.
They glue on their pieces, then they grow out it, and then they clean it and put it in the store. In most facets, there is this pressure to conform the individual into what society wants, but here we let them be who they are and help improve their strengths and let them show off their strengths, and we invite the community to come see their strengths. That's what it's all about.
Sadie, all kinds of stuff going on around here. That was really awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having us out, and good luck here with the Hope Gallery.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Okay, with Sadie Stokes at the Hope Gallery, I'm Jeff Lyons, out and about. All right, that was out and about for this week. Hope Gallery is a place here in Evansville, and as you saw, they do a lot of great work out there putting together artwork. So thanks for having me out, and you can share that around with your friends that might be interested in it. All right, I will check your questions here again one more time. I think we got all of them. Carolyn Lovelace, will we see bad weather Wednesday in Hobstadt? Yeah, I think area-wide we could see strong to severe thunderstorms during the afternoon. I'm kind of putting more of my faith in the afternoon, noon to about 6 p.m. I think by that point it'll be as warm as it's going to get. The cold front will be coming through. If we do have a cap, that would break it. And as you saw there earlier, the low-level jet kind of in line to help enhance some of those storms at that time. And we could cap all day, as Cheyenne Hammonds mentions. Yeah, and if we do stay capped, then we won't see much of anything, maybe a little rain, but that's about it. And J.D. Rapp wants to know if we'll have severe weather in Hamilton County, Illinois. It is certainly possible on Wednesday, especially during the afternoon and evening. All right, on 14 News at 10 tonight, I should have some newer information there to pass along. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and let you back to whatever is normally on the stream here, and I will see you on 14 News at 10. In the meantime, stay safe, and thanks for watching.